Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Kimi Antonelli's views on his fight with Max Verstappen in Brazil, as well as updates on Toto Wolff and Red Bull. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. So let's start with Kimi Antonelli, and as we know, he finished P2 in Brazil. He had a really strong weekend in Brazil. In the sprint race, he finished in P2, and yeah, as I say, in the Grand Prix, he finished in P2, but he did have pressure from Max Verstappen towards the end of the Grand Prix. Basically, after Verstappen stopped for soft tyres, he had the two Mercedes in front of him, and Verstappen got past George Russell, and with a few laps to go, Verstappen closed in on Antonelli and was all over the back of Antonelli and was within his DRS, and it was close, but Antonelli was able to hold off Max. And when asked how stressful he found the closing laps of the Grand Prix, Antonelli said, as quoted by Racing News 365, "Way too stressful. When Max did the last pit stop and Bono told me the gap, I was like, well, I cannot say because they're going to find me now. But I was like, I might be in trouble. He was just 9 seconds behind. He was on new softs. This race, he had a very strong pace. He did an amazing job coming back, and he just put me under a lot of pressure at the end. I had to really push the tyre to the limit, and it wasn't easy, but I think we did our best, and I'm really happy with that." Now, as we know, Antonelli has had an up and down rookie year. The European season was not good at all, but more recently, Antonelli has started to put in really good performances, and Brazil was one of those rare weekends where Antonelli has outperformed his teammate George Russell. So it's very clear that the pace is there for Antonelli. It's just the consistency that needs to be worked on, and I think if this is improved in 2026, I think Antonelli could have a really good year next year. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But let's move on to Red Bull, and as we know, Yuki Tsunoda did not have a good Grand Prix in Brazil, while his teammate Verstappen started from the pit lane and ended up finishing in P3. Tsunoda struggled with 2 penalties and ended up in 17th place. So what were Tsunoda's penalties for? Well, the first was a 10-second time penalty and 2 penalty points for a collision with Aston Martin's Lance Stroll, with the stewards saying in their verdict, on lap 6, car 22 approached turn 8, carrying much more speed than the cars ahead, closed up on the inside behind car 18 and made contact with the rear of that car, causing a collision and forcing car 18 into a spin. But that wasn't the only penalty Tsunoda received, with him also getting another 10-second time penalty for failing to serve the first penalty correctly. So what happened? Why was that first penalty not served properly? Well, the stewards said in their verdict, the stewards reviewed video evidence which showed that car 22 entered the pit lane to serve a 10-second time penalty. While the car was stationary for the purpose of serving the penalty, a mechanic immediately began working on the car by loosening the left rear wheel nut with a wheel gun before the 10 seconds had elapsed. Under Article 54.4c of the FIA Formula 1 sporting regulations, no work may be carried out on a car while the time penalty is being served. For the avoidance of doubt, any physical contact with the car, whether by hand, tool or equipment, constitutes working on the car. As the mechanic initiated work before the expiry of the penalty period, the penalty was not served correctly. The stewards therefore impose an additional 10-second time penalty. But let's move on to Toto Wolff. Now, as we know, he's the team principal at Mercedes and owns around a 33% share in the Formula 1 team. However, it's been reported by BBC Sport that Wolff is in advanced talks to sell part of his shareholding in the Mercedes F1 team, with BBC Sport saying the deal values Mercedes at £4.6 billion, a record for an F1 team, after McLaren were valued at £3.5 billion in a change of ownership structure in September. Wolff, who owns 1/3 of Mercedes F1, would sell a shareholding in the region of 5%. Now, the other shareholders in the team are Mercedes and Ineos, who own 1/3 each. And BBC Sports say that Wolff would stay on as chief executive and team principal at Mercedes F1 should a sale go through. And a Mercedes spokesperson said, as quoted by BBC Sports, "We will be making no comment on this. The governance of the team will remain unchanged, and all 3 partners are fully committed to the ongoing success of Mercedes-Benz in Formula 1. And finally, BBC Sport go on to say that the deal was first reported by Sportico and that BBC Sport has independently verified the information is accurate. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.